Hi guys, it's RockinRobin, and today we're taking you somewhere different in Orlando. This is a wildlife drive-through experience. It's 11 miles and it takes a couple of hours. It depends how long traffic is. Now, people will get out of their cars and take pictures. There are several different areas that you can get out of your car and take pictures, but you're going to see a lot of different kinds of wildlife. A lot of birds, some alligators. Now, alligators is the main things that we always go and look for. And if you haven't seen alligators and you're not from Florida, this is probably one of the best rides that you can take. Now, the fact that it's free always seems to help, but you got to know it's going to take some time. It's going to take a couple hours to go through, depending on how the traffic is. So we saw a lot of different birds when we first got there, and that was very interesting. And if you're a photographer, it's a great chance to take some photographs. It's beautiful over there, and you definitely want to be on the lookout for what you're looking for. And for us, it's always the gators. I love to look at the gators, but there are some flowers and some great vegetation. And look at the birds. A lot of birds that are typical to Florida, and there are some unique and unusual ones. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, except that I am looking for a gator, and we found the first gator. Now, we started naming our gators. The first one we called Alfred, and the second one we called Benny. So we had Alfred and Benny, and we continued to drive around. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Lake Apopka. Now, this is the North Shore, and restoration of the former muck farms transformed this area into a haven for wildlife and recreation. And there we go. We found Charlie, the third alligator. Now, there are 20,000 acres that make up the North Shore. Look at that gator. He's beautiful, isn't he? However, these valuable wetlands were separated from the lake in 1941 by a large levee. This decreased the size of Lake Apopka from 50,000 to 30,000 acres. Now, this is the fourth largest lake in the state of Florida. Now, over here, we're showing you a beautiful anhinga, and you'll see several of those, and they are gorgeous. Now, you'll see signs that look like they're in the middle of nowhere, and there is at least 2 areas that you can pull over and walk, and there are restroom facilities, and that is one of them. That is in first mile into the drive, because it's 11 miles. You'll have to go over several bridges, and you'll have to keep looking around because there's a lot of people. And there we go. We found Doug. We named the fourth gator Doug, and isn't he a beauty? I really like looking at Doug. He was huge. Now, this lake was designated for cleanup under the Surface Water Improvement and Management Act of 1987, and they have had to restore the floodplain restoration in the marsh, and they created a marsh flow system that filters Lake Apopka's waters by circulating the lake water through restored wetlands. You can follow 4 different trails. There'll be certain points where you can go left, or you can go right, or you can go straight, and they are working on all of them to fix them. So beware of that. They're also available. You can hike there, you can bike, you can ride a horse if that's what you want to do. Just be careful and be on the lookout for alligators, and take a look at the nature and the wildlife. There's another anhinga, and they are just beautiful. Remember, when you take this drive, that it is 11 miles, that it is only one way. There's only one way in and one way out. You can't go fast. You can't maneuver and turn around. There is just one way to go. So if you want to bring water and snacks, whatever, because sometimes it could be up to 4 hours depending on traffic. Usually it's more like 1 to 2 hours, but you never know. So you want to be careful. You can bring your dog or pet, whatever you want, but I would recommend that you leave them in the car. You never know what's going to get out of the lake if you are walking around, and you know that the alligators in particular do like small animals. Now, I found the next alligator, and this is Ernie. All we could see of Ernie is his head. I would like to see how big he is, the rest of his body, but he was not showing that off on this day. So along the route we went, looking for our next victim. Now the next alligator we find, we have planned to name Frankie. So here we go, and you can see at one point on the left, the lake opens up and it becomes much larger. When you're on the beginning, you see like streams on both sides, especially on the right side. Well, the lake opens up on the left, and all of a sudden you see a lot. Now this is a turtle. There were several different turtles, and I kept wondering, what was that with that head sticking out? Now that one stayed around enough for me to see it. And this is the lake when it starts to get big. Now this is a big lake, and we're only seeing a small portion of it on this ride. But that lake is very large if you can get to the whole lake. So we're going to continue our little drive, and we are still looking for Frankie. And I'm looking on the right side, and I don't see anything except a lot of land. There is a lot of land, and you will drive for a long ways and just see water and see typical birds. But keep your eyes open if you are looking for alligators, because you will find them on this trip. Now this trip is great for everyone in the entire family. The kids will love it, keep them occupied, and you will love it. And it's just something calm and peaceful and different than the parks if you go to Orlando, because after a while they become very hectic. And this is more of a relaxing drive and enjoying nature and learning. When you first go in, they will give you a map and tell you how you can listen to audio about this area, and you should listen to it because it's very interesting. And I believe there's about 8 parts, and they're short, but they're little quips and little information that will help you learn more about Lake Apopka, and I found them very, very helpful. I enjoyed listening to those. So here we are getting close to, I don't know, we're maybe 3/4, maybe a little bit more of the drive. And we have yet to see the next alligator. Well, where might he be? Well, let's keep driving and see what we find. Here is a better look at how big Lake Apopka is. And look how narrow the road is, so don't think about pulling over in this area. Although you can stop and take pictures, just I wouldn't get out in this area. But you know what? Here we are. We found Frankie in this big lake right here. And he's a pretty good size. And we zoomed in and got even a better look of him. There we go. There's Frankie. So then after Frankie, we wanted to look for George. And believe it or not, we saw George just past Frankie. But he was not showing up too good. We didn't get a picture of him, and he went down under pretty quickly. So although we saw George, we did not get a video of him. So our next look is for Henry. Can we find an alligator that we are naming Henry? Well, we looked all over, and we just kept searching because we figured he's got to be somewhere, but we didn't find him. Well, this is RockinRobin. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our drive. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell, give us a big thumbs up. Watch all our videos around Florida and Orlando.